So Dan Carpenter will send it away. And back deep for the Raiders, rookie Jacoby Ford out of Clemson. Dolphins and Raiders wheels up from Oakland. Ford brings it out of the end zone. Ford to the 20. Ford! Oh! Jacoby! Streaking! Touchdown Raiders! 101 yards!
The Dolphins have struggled at times on special teams during the year. You think back to the Monday night game they had against New England where they had a placement in the punt block. Now they give up the big return on the opening kickoff. Nothing could be worse for the Dolphins going on the road out here to Oakland than starting the game like that.
Jacoby Ford with his second kickoff return for a touchdown. He had a 94-yarder for a touchdown. Now he goes 101. And Oakland striking big on the opening kickoff. The Raiders take a 7-0 lead.
Well, he takes it and he comes down. It's really good. He sees so many return guys, Gus, come out and just take it like a bat out of HE double hockey sticks. He takes his time, is very patient. You can see he only ran about a half speed out for the first 10 yards. And then when he shifted gears, he broke through the first wall of the coverage, and the kicker couldn't make him cut hard enough to let the pursuit catch up to him. And that was an outstanding job by the guys in front of Jacoby Ford to put a hat on a hat, give him a crease, let him pick his spot. And once he did, he had plenty of room. You'll see when he catches this ball, watch, he's running, but he's looking, and then jumps it to the outside and snaps it right back up inside down the middle. Carpenter was lazy getting down the field and gave him too much space to give him a move and get around him. Carpenter's got to snug up a little bit more in the coverage to give it a different, less than two-level look. But Jacoby Ford just had too much space after that first wave, and Carpenter had no shot.
So Jacoby Ford at 101 yards on the return, 7-0 Oakland. Sebastian Janikowski sends it away. Nolan Carroll is back deep. And this ball bounces out of the end zone.
They're going to say now if that ball went over the pylon, inside the pylon, it's a touchback. But the official there, you can see, he says it went outside that pylon. That's a penalty.
Kickoff out of bounds. Miami will take the ball at the 40-yard line. First down.
You'll watch that pylon right there. If that, I don't know, that if it goes inside the pylon, it's okay. If it goes outside, it's not. And wow, man, that looked like it was inside the pylon to me. And I'd almost throw the challenge flag, although I don't believe that's a challengeable play.
First down and 10 to the 40-yard line for the Dolphins. Henny stumbling, fires, Hartline with the grab, turns it up, and Hartline gets all the way down to the Raider 32-yard line. Asamoah with the tackle, and it's a 27-yard gain. So as we mentioned at the top of our broadcast partner, the big question in Miami all week, who would be the quarterback? Some thought that Chad Henne a couple of weeks ago after he injured his knee may have been done for the year, but he's on the field starting today.
Well, the injury wasn't as bad as they first thought, but also he made a gargantuan effort to get himself ready for this game.
First down and 10 at the 34, opening drive for Miami. Here's Henne handing it off, Ronnie Brown. And Ronnie Brown will get to the 30-yard line. Offensively for Miami, they're ranked 21st in the NFL overall, 16th in passing, 21st in rushing.
Well, you can see there, left tackle Jake Long, he's going to try and go. He's got a badly injured left shoulder. He's in a huge brace. He's started every game of his career, and he's been to the Pro Bowl twice. It's only his third year in the league, and of course, Brandon Marshall is out. Devon Best is in. Grew up in the shadow of this stadium rooting for these Raiders. This is his first game back since he was a high school player.
And here's the Wildcat, Ronnie Brown at quarterback, Henne the receiver at the bottom, and Brown wants to run it. And Ronnie Brown goes nowhere. Desmond Bryant with the tackle. Defensively for the Raiders, they're ranked 11th overall, 3rd against the pass, 25th against the rush.
Well, it starts with Richard Seymour. He was fined $25,000 last week, but he was not suspended. He's the undisputed leader of that front seven for the Raiders. And the linebackers, Cameron Wembley had a 2-sack game against Seattle earlier this year, but his strength is run defense. He's a huge factor against these Dolphins. And of course, Nnamdi Asomugha back in the lineup after being out with an ankle sprain for 2 games.
3rd down and 7 at the 31. Henny, short drop, fires, Hartline up top, incomplete. Good coverage by the Raiders. Stanford route, running stride for stride.
Yeah, this will bring on the field goal attempt, but this is going to be a real chess match in philosophies, not so much technique and man-to-man. The Raiders know the Dolphins lean on their run game greatly, plus they've got a quarterback in Chad Henne with a bad wheel. They're going to force them to either get rid of the ball in the pocket, Henne that is, or try and run the football into a 9-man front.
Dan Carpenter in to attempt a 49-yarder. And it's good. So after giving up a 101-yard kickoff return, Miami comes up on their first drive, scores, and we have a 7-3 game. It's getting electric here in Oakland. Welcome back. Jacoby Ford ready to return once again for the Raiders after going 101 yards on the opening play of the game. Now he'll start from the 1. And this time, the Dolphins waste no time. They get to him. Roberto Wallace with the tackle, an 18-yard return. So got a sports fan on your gift list, CBSSports.com. Shop as officially licensed NFL gear and get 3-day shipping on every order. Go to shop.cbssports.com. Gus Johnson, Steve Tasker with you from the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. As you take a look at the game summary, Miami wasted no time. They get down the field, and Dan Carpenter, who's been really solid this year, nails the long field goal. 1st down and 10 of the 19 for Gronkowski out of the gun, fires out of the backfield, and it's Reese. Marcel Reese, the second-year fullback, picks up 2. How about Bruce Gronkowski? When you look at him and when you talk to Coach Cable, you get the feeling that Gronkowski is a Tom Cable kind of guy. Yeah,
you always like to get a quarterback that reflects your personality as a head coach. Gronkowski does it. Blue-collar guy, a guy that is scrappy, that players really rally around him, and there's no doubt Tom Cable picked him early on in his tenure as head coach and has stuck with him.
2nd down and 8 at the 21. Jerry McFadden in the backfield. They give it to him, and McFadden tracked down immediately. Cameron Wake. So let's take a look at this Oakland Raiders offense, ranked 16th in the NFL, 29th in passing, 2nd in rushing.
Well, their left tackle, Jared Beldier, has started at center and tackle last 4 games, and the Raiders are 3-1 in those games. Cable says he's a young player that's really improving vastly in this month. And of course, the backs and receivers, Jacoby Ford, you saw him, the kick returner. He started the last 3 weeks in place of Lewis Murphy. 10 of his 12 receptions on the year came in those last 3 games.
3rd down and 10 at the 19-yard line, and a flag on the play. And a false start coming up against Oakland.
False start, number 12, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And defensively for Miami, ranked 7th overall in the league, 4th against the pass, 20th against the rush.
Well, some of the Raiders told us if you don't block Paul Soliai in the middle of that defensive line, you're going to lose. And of course, at the linebackers, Cameron Wake, this guy's the real deal. 9.5 sacks on the year. He's 1st in the AFC, 2nd in the NFL. If you don't block him, you're going to lose as well. And of course, in the secondary, Chris Clemens. He's a teammate of the guy that just returned the kickoff for a touchdown from Clemson.
Over the middle, and Gronkowski hitting McFadden. And McFadden gets to the 20-yard line. Carlos Dansby there after a 5-yard gain, and that will force Oakland to punt it away. Brings on Shane Leckler, and he's led the NFL in punting 2 of the last 3 years, averaging 51.5 yards per punt last year.
Yeah, he's one of the great punters in the National Football League, has since he was drafted in 2000 in the 5th round. He is a really strong leg punter.
Devon Bess back deep. And Bess signaling for the fair catch. He has it at the 34 or 46-yard punt. Miami with the chance to gain some ground now, trailing 7-3 with the football. And the MetLife Blimp is providing today's aerial coverage. Look for the MetLife Blimps as it teams up with CBS for more coverage this season. So the Dolphins with the football at their own 35. First down and 10. Ronnie Brown in at quarterback. Here's a Wildcat once again. They hand it to Ricky Williams. And Ricky crosses the 40, dives forward, gets to the 44. Nnamdi Asomugha with the tackle, and that's an 8-yard gain.
Well, one of the things the teams have started to do is catch up with this Wildcat. You see a lot more teams run it, but they run it for a while, and then teams will get a handle on it. And I think when the Miami starts to run it, teams will almost dare them to throw it. They'll pack in there around the line of scrimmage, and it's getting harder and harder for Miami to find running lanes out of that Wildcat.
Second down and 2 at the 43. Straight ahead running, and Ronnie Brown gains 3 yards. Michael Huff brings him down, and that's a first down for the Dolphins.
You know, so much about Miami is, about NFL is about matchups. Right there on that Wildcat, Nnamdi Asomugha, one of the great corners in the game, is man-to-man on Chad Henne. I mean, that's a waste, and that's a matchup that, you know, the Dolphins will take. They take Nnamdi Asomugha and give him a guy that you're not going to involve in the passing game. You just take him out of the run game.
Chad Henne. Ricky Williams, a deep man. Play fake. Henne sets up down the seam. And it's caught. Devon Bess, 50th catch on the season. He's averaging 10 yards a catch. Picks up 13 as Asomugha brings him down.
Yeah, and there you have it. Man-to-man defense. Asomugha back in the league. He's been out. Back in the game. He's been out for 2 games, and now he's back in. You look at the hard defense Asomugha's playing. You can't cover it much better than that. He's got his arm in inside. Best makes a great physical and attacking move on the pass and comes down with it. 2 great players going at it.
Asomugha considered one of the best corners in the NFL. First down at the 40. Ricky Williams. And Ricky dropped for a loss on this play. Lamar Houston, the rookie out of Texas there defensively. And the front 4 for the Raiders, I tell you what, they put a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
They really do, even if the quarterback is Ronnie Brown. But you can see that the Dolphins are running a lot of that Wildcat, more so than they have most of the year, because I think Chad Henne is so limited in mobility. They've got to get that running game going and back off that front 4 that you just mentioned.
Henne. Play fake, dumps it off, Ricky. And Ricky Williams goes down at the 37. Quentin Groves and Rolando McClain combined on the tackle. We're talking about the Wildcat, Steve. If you look over the last 3 years, their average yards per play using the Wildcats and their touchdowns have gone down.
Yeah, it's almost a 30. It used to average over 6 yards a play. Now it's under 3. I mean, it's just a huge difference. And teams, that's the quality of defenses in the NFL. They're going to catch up. If there was one way to do it, everybody would do it. But there's always a defense for whatever the offense comes up with.
Third down and 7 to the 37. They need to get to the 30 and a half for first down. Henne sets, sideline, caught. Nicely done. Anthony Fasano, who's having a terrific year. All hands on that catch. Picks up 7 as Mike Mitchell brings him down, and he's close to a first down.
Yeah, close, but I don't think they're going to give it to him. And you see there a cluster. You got 2 wide receivers outside of him. They clear the area. He comes underneath them, and they marked him just outside or right on the 31-yard line. That's not going to be good enough. Brings up a 4th down, and the Dolphins are going for it.
4th down and inches. Polite and Ricky Williams split backfield. Inside handoff, and Miami picks up the first down. And that's Polite. He picks up 2 yards on the play.
And those are the runs that don't get very many yards, but they're as important as any 15-yard run ever. It's first down on 4th down. And that's an enormous little 1.5 to 2 yard run by Polite. And you see there, they've got it defended pretty well, but it's just too much momentum to get stopped. Quentin Groves does a nice job, but can't stop the momentum of Ricky Polite.
Tony Sperano's Dolphins having no problems moving the ball on the Raiders. 1st and 10 at the 29. Play fake. Henny. Oh, he's got somebody. Touchdown! Patrick Cobbs. 29 yards. And what a nice ball thrown by Chad Henne.
Well, he did it off the play fake, and he got rid of the football very early. Watch as he comes back, hard fake to Ricky Williams, and that ball's out of there. He doesn't hold it, doesn't hesitate. Cobbs right down the middle, working against Michael Huff, the safety, and you've got to do a better job on a fullback in the passing game than that.
Dan Carpenter, extra point is good. So the Dolphins on the opening kickoff of the game took one right in the chops, and they've answered with a left hook and a body shot. 10-7 Miami. Welcome back. Thank you very much. This is the 5,000th game. This particular game for CBS covering the National Football League.
And the opening kickoff goes for a touchdown. Well way to start it.
Jacoby Ford gets outside. And Ford going down at the 34-yard line. Benny Sapp with the tackle, and it's returned of 27 yards. And let's take a look at the numbers. The first game for CBS back in 1956 when Washington took on Pittsburgh. 51 years, 17 Super Bowls. And partner, how about this? We're a part of history, and this is our 97th game.
We're a small and deeply disturbing part of history.
First down and 10 at the 33. Reese and McFadden in the backfield. I formation for the Raiders. Play fake. Gronkowski. Sideline. Caught. Lewis Murphy with room. Murphy still running. And little Louie gets to the 37. Picking up 29 yards. Chris Clemens with the tackle.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. 88, 98.
13 years ago, man.
Wow, man. You still had the baby mullet.
I had some work to do, man. That's all I can say. I had a long way to go.
First down and 10 at the 38-yard line. Here's the pitch. McFadden over the left side. And McFadden, Jeremiah Bell jumped on his back and rides him down. A loss of 3 on the play.
This is a fitting game for a 5,000th game. I mean, you come out, you explode off the blocks with a kickoff return for a touchdown. And the visiting team Dolphins come back with a little left jab field goal and then the touchdown. Now, this is good stuff. That guy right there, a blue-collar guy, really no nonsense. He's a real pleasure to talk to, Tom Cable.
Second down and 13 at the 41. Reese and McFadden. Here's McFadden, second man through. Oh, and he gets chopped down. Great look on the left side as Vontae Davis came up, played the run well, and that's a loss of 3 for the Raiders.
Yeah, you can see the Dolphins are really stepping up in the run game. And the pressure's going to come right at the point of attack. You see there, Cameron Wake right at the edge of the defense, and then they rally. Tim Dobbins comes in, Vontae Davis. They are really penetrating and getting on the Raiders side of the line of scrimmage. In this run the Raiders have had, going 3-1 in their last 4 games, they've been able to run the football effectively. If they can't do that today, that's really going to hamper their efforts.
Third down and 16 at the 44. Gronkowski out of the shotgun, steps up, under pressure, buying time, and he'll dump it. Good coverage by the Miami secondary. Nobody to throw it to for Gronkowski. And the Raiders will have to punt it away.
You know, we talked about this game coming in here. Both these teams are 5-5, Gus. They both feel like this is an absolutely critical game. Maybe not so much for the Raiders because of the situation in the AFC West. But the Dolphins, if they don't win here, they're looking up at the Jets and the New England Patriots in the standings, and they're thinking there's no way they're going to catch them.
Shane Leckler stands at the 42-yard line. He's dropped 264 punts inside the 20 since 2000, second most in the NFL. And he'll do it again. That ball fielded at the 12, a 34-yard punt, a 2-yard return. Hiram Eugene with a tackle on special teams. Fins up 10-7. Welcome back. Dolphins with a 10-7 lead over the Raiders. Chad Henne, 5 of 6, 77 yards and a touchdown already as Ronnie Brown runs it straight ahead. He gains 3 yards on the play. John Henderson, the former Jaguar, with the tackle. Let's take a look at the last drive, Steve.
Well, it started with a nice throw to Best. Asamoah on the coverage, and then Fasano gets in the act, and then a nice play-action pass down the middle. This is the Dolphins team that really needs to run the football, but all they really need is to have the Raiders think they're going to run the football and honor the run fake in the play action. If that happens, the Dolphins have got a leg up.
A lot of positive energy on that Miami sideline. And a fumble. And it looks like the Dolphins jumped on it.
That ball came out of there really early. Looked like Jake Long.
Ronnie Brown winds up with it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jake Long is playing. That left tackle is playing with a bad left arm, and when this ball pops out, it takes a lot of courage to dive headfirst into the pile after that football. You see there, Long with his arm trying to get in there on it. It's the strongest cat that gets it, Gus, not always the guy that starts out with possession.
3rd down and 10 at the 13. Raiders showing blitz. Chad Henne in the gun. Henne with time, sideline. Nice catch, Best. 1st down, Dolphins. Tyvon Branch pushes him out of bounds, but it's a gain of 23.
Yeah, and you said it. Chad Henne changed the protection right at the last moment. You see Ronnie Brown jumping across in front of him to pick up the blitzers. Great job in the backfield by the running backs, Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams. You can say a lot about them. You see Devon Best there. But those 2 running backs do a nice job of stepping to the right guy and giving Chad Henne a chance to get rid of that football.
Henne 6 of 7, 100 yards already and a touchdown. 1st down. Here's a handoff. Ronnie Brown. And he stood up. No gain on the play. He'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now you talk about that front 4 for the Raiders. They really know how to get at the quarterback. All 4 of them either have 4.5 or 5 sacks.
Yeah, and it's real even across the board. You can't really double team any of these guys. I mean, look at this. All of them, 5 sacks for Shaughnessy and Kelly, 4.5 for Wembley and Seymour. Now, Wembley's a linebacker, but it makes it really hard for an offensive lineman and a quarterback to pick the guy he wants to double team or how to set the protection. And it's a great, great advantage for the Raiders.
2nd down and 10 at the 36. Henne out of the gun, delayed handoff. This is Ricky. And Ricky Williams gets up to the 44-yard line, picks up 8 on the play. Wembley and Gaithel, the rookie out of Arizona State, combining on the tackle.
You know, it's interesting, this Miami offense and Tony Sperano, they're throwing the football with play action and they're running the football a lot. And in doing so, now they run it because they know the Raiders want to get after them. They run a little draw play to draw the pass rush up the field and then run behind it. Great play selection.
Should be the last play of the quarter. The pitch, Ronnie Brown. And Ronnie Brown downhill running, picks up a 1st down as he stops at the 47 by Branch, a gain of 8. We'll return to Oakland after these messages. You're watching the National Football League on CBS. Talk about having the best seat in the house. That's a courageous bird hovering around the 15-yard line.
Well, it's a nice day.
And he's got the Dolphins coming right at him. 10-7, Miami. 7th play of the drive. It started at the Miami 13. They've eaten up 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Ronnie Brown with the Wildcat. And Brown slicing through the defense, gets to the 40. Branch with the stop, a gain of 7. Now, no matter where you are this holiday season, you can stay in the game all year long with the new NFL mobile applications. Search NFL Mobile on NFL.com.
Yeah, the bird's not moving. The Dolphins are moving. They're getting closer. The bird's just kind of matriculating down. They haven't scared him off yet, though.
2nd down and 4 at the 42. They snap it to Brown. And Ronnie Brown, nice piece of running. As he gets to the 35, that's a 7-yard gain.
It's interesting, the Dolphins, that time Chad Henne split out as a wide receiver. The last Wildcat play, he was completely off the field. He and Fasano were standing on the sidelines. They had tight ends, fullbacks, and wide receivers on the field, and no quarterback at all except Ronnie Brown. This time, there's Henne right there. As we saw, there's the matchup. You know, Walter McFadden manning up on the quarterback. It's a wasted coverage. They're not going to throw the ball to Henne, but you got to cover him.
First down and 10 at the 35. Henne back in at quarterback. This is Ricky. And Ricky Williams gets to the 30. Picks up 5 yards on the play. They have really kept this Raider defense off balance with Henne dropping back, Wildcats, good tough running between the tackles.
Yeah, Dan Henning, the offensive coordinator for the Dolphins, took a lot of heat after the loss in Pittsburgh. They just didn't run the football enough, a lot of people said. No, not so today. They are pounding the rock.
Second down and 6 at the 31. Dolphins coming off a loss to the Chicago Bears. Henne rolling. And he'll fire it to the sideline and out of bounds.
Yeah, that was, they played Chicago last week. It was the Raiders that lost against Pittsburgh last week. But this Dolphin team, they got into a situation last week where they couldn't score, couldn't get on the scoreboard at all, got shut out, and didn't run the football. It seemed like at all. You watch that game, and it's like, wow, you can't even remember them. You get to certain points in that game, you couldn't even remember a running play.
Third down and 6 at the 31. Dolphins 2 of 4 on third down conversion. Henne under center. Raiders showing blitz. Here they come. Henne with time. Henne underneath. Hartline. And Hartline gets to the 12. Terrific reception for Brian Hartline. A 19-yard gain. And the Dolphins offensive line really holding up on that play as Stanford route brings him down.
Yeah, you said it. The Steelers, look at all the Raiders coming. They're all lined up at the line of scrimmage. Everything packed in there. If Henne can get this off to an open receiver, you know it's going to be a big play. That's the give and take of the pressure package of the Raiders.
Miami in the red zone this season, 22 possessions, 11 touchdowns, 10 field goals. Wildcat, Ronnie Brown. And Ronnie Brown gets a yard on the play. In the red zone this season, Miami with a 50% touchdown percentage, 19th in the NFL.
Yeah, you can just feel Tony Sparano sat down this week and said, listen, we are going to make a physical statement early in this game. We're going to run the Wildcat. We're going to hand it off. We're going to play action. We're going to get physical with the Raiders and try and pound them. And they're getting it done early in this game.
13th play of the drive that started at the Miami 13. Second and 9 at the 11. Play action. Henne rolling, looking backside. Nobody home in the end zone. Picked up. McClain. And the Raiders have it. And Tony Sparano can't believe it.
Yeah, it was a bad decision and a bad throw. Henne is not a mobile quarterback to begin with, but when he's got a bad knee, he's just got to throw it. He can't run with it, and it cost him.
12th interception of the year for Henne, and the Raiders have the ball. Rookie Rolando McClain out of the University of Alabama with his first career interception. And the Raiders take over at the 11-yard line. Chad Henne could have thrown that ball away. First down for Grakowski. Raiders have not been able to move the ball on offense. Grakowski rolling. He finds his tight end. And Zach Miller with the catch. And he gets out of bounds. A 6-yard gain.
Now on the 13th play of this drive, Henne gets some pressure from Shaughnessy coming up the middle. Just got to get it out the back of the end zone. Throw it away. You're in field goal range. Throws it right at McClain. Bess is trying to get open. The play's extended, so he's just freelancing right there. And that's Raiders all over the place. It could not have been a worse throw. You see that he's saying throw the football away.
Second down and 4 at the 17. McFadden. And McFadden gets to the 19-yard line. Tim Dobbins stops him. But you have to be impressed with the way this Dolphin defense has played early on in this game.
The entire team has played with an emotional boost today. Both offensively and defensively, particularly after getting hit in the mouth on the first kickoff, getting returned right back against him for a touchdown. The whole Dolphins sideline has not sat down. They've been playing hard.
3rd down and 2 at the 19-yard line. Redkowski out of the backfield. McFadden needs 2. Has a crease. McFadden. Oh, beautiful running. Darren McFadden. A gain of 20. Jeremiah Bell with a saving tackle because McFadden had glory in his eyes.
Yeah, and he's been a big difference for the Raiders this year. Injured early in his career, but now this year has been really the difference offensively for the Raiders. His ability to run the football in there, catch it, has been the reason they've been able to win 3 of their last 4.
1st down and 10 at the 39. Now Oakland showing a Wildcat. McFadden, the original architect of the Wildcat, dating back to his time in Arkansas.
Before the snap, this is the first charge timeout, Miami.
That formation, Miami didn't like it. They took a quick timeout. They knew they were outmanned.
Couple of Wildcat quarterbacks now. Ronnie Brown on the left and Darren McFadden on the right. And they bring Redkowski back in at QB for Oakland. He drops back. Redkowski going up top. Intercepted. Jeremiah Bell. Bell up the sideline. Cuts it back and dives and gets down to the 46-yard line. McFadden with the tackle, a 23-yard return.
Tried to hit Reese on the sideline. It was underthrown.
Can you see the game? And welcome back. Tom Cable, Steve, is elected to challenge the ruling on the field.
And I think it's a good challenge. When you'll see when Bell comes down, just there through his arms, the ball hits the ground right there and wobbles and moves in his grasp. You'll see here. There you see the ball's flat on the ground and bounces back up into his stomach. And that is going to be reversed. This will be a good challenge for Tom Cable.
Jeremiah Bell, nice effort.
It was a good effort, but it was a poorly thrown football by Gradkowski's underthrown. You see him trying to hit Reese, the fullback on the go route. Fullback on a safety is not really, you'll see there, ball on the ground. It looks like his hand's under it, but his hand is away from the football there, and it moves. Now, if he'd have had it and it hit the ground and it didn't bobble in his grasp, they might still give him the interception, but because the ball kind of rolled over and moved around in his grasp when it hit the ground, it's going to be an incomplete pass. The ball can hit the ground if he keeps control of it. Gradkowski got away with a poorly thrown football right there.
Redkowski not very sharp to start this game. Remember, he's been plagued by a tender shoulder, suffered earlier in the season. Week 4 against Houston, when Redkowski refused to slide and Marcus Pollard almost broke him in half.
Yeah, we spoke to...
Bernard Pollard almost broke him in half.
Yeah.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands as called. Oakland will be charged with his first timeout.
I didn't see that. I thought that ball bobbled on the ground and then bounced back up into him, and that should not have been an interception. I'm surprised by that, I got to admit. That ball looks like it's on the ground. Maybe they do feel that his hand was underneath it, but I thought from another angle we saw that the ball did bounce right there. I think the ball was drug across the ground and then moved.
This is the angle you're talking about.
This is the angle. See, the ball's on the ground and it moves and it comes back up. I don't know. Okay. They look at the same angles that we look at and obviously look at it from a different point of view.
Jeremiah Bell will take it as he comes up with the interception. First down and 10 at the 46 for Miami. Henny, play action. Looking. Dumps it off in the flats to Ricky Williams, and it's incomplete. Cameron Wembley covering.
And we hear from the replay booth that they didn't feel there was enough evidence to overturn that, so it wasn't enough, a clear enough look at it. And there has to be irrefutable evidence. So there you have it. They didn't think they saw enough to take back the interception.
Second down and 10 at the 46. Polite and Williams right next to Henny in the shotgun. Henny fires up top. Incomplete. Marlon Moore, the intended receiver, and we have not talked about Brandon Marshall, who is missing this game because of a hamstring injury, their leading receiver.
Yeah, and you'd think that would be exactly where the Raiders wanted the Dolphins to be, without their best wide receiver going against them. They're a team, the Raiders notoriously plays a lot of man-to-man, and when your best man's not in there, that means they go deeper into your roster. And I'll tell you what, the Dolphins have come out and not batted an eye. They continue to throw the football and run it at will.
Third down and 10 at the 46. Dolphins need to go to the Raider 44 for a first down. Henny in trouble, and he's sacked. Michael Huff, the free safety, comes up with the first sack of the game for Oakland, and Miami will have to send it away.
And just like we saw a little bit ago, the Raiders have got everybody up on the line of scrimmage. They just don't have enough guys. The Dolphins just don't have enough guys. Look at all these guys right up on the line of scrimmage, and they just don't have enough people.
Brandon Fields punting it away. Johnny Lee Higgins from the 10. Tight ropes down the sideline, and he steps out of bounds at the 26. 52-yard punt, 15-yard return, 8:56 to play in the first half. Miami with the lead. Raiders bringing the heat. (10-7) Dolphins on top of the Raiders. Under 9 minutes to go here in the second quarter. First down for Oakland at their own 26. Darren McFadden, the receiver at the bottom of your screen, out of the backfield. Gronkowski scrambling, throws on the run, and it's caught by Jacoby Ford, who is immediately dropped by Chris Clemens. A 6-yard gain.
That's one of the things that Gronkowski gives you as the Raiders. He's a guy that's got a little mobility, can run. He's pretty accurate when he's on the run, but when you can extend the play like that, it just gives you that one extra chance for the big play. But in that case, did a nice job getting it to Ford on the sideline. You see there, now he's a receiver.
And McFadden in at quarterback in the Wildcat. And hands it off to Reese, the fullback, straight away. Yermar Bell ends up with a football. Again. And the Dolphins have it.
Yeah, you could hear the feel. The defense called the ball in the natural sound. You heard them call it. They knew it was out. Reese is going to come up inside and just get hit in the face. Whew. And it comes out, and it comes out like an Easter egg. And there it is. Bell. Tell you what, Ford and McFadden do a nice job gathering in, because that happened very fast. Bell was almost gone.
First down and 10 now at the 26 of Oakland for the Dolphins. Ronnie Brown. And Ronnie Brown gets inside the 25. And that's the thing about the Wildcats. You got a lot of people handling the football. Yeah, that's exactly not your quarterback.
Right. That is exactly right. You see there, McFadden gets it in. He puts it in there. Reese never really sticks it away. And you're right, ball handling is something that, you know, most people take as basic at this level, but when you got guys doing it, particularly at game time, you know, the adrenaline's turned up, and so is the intensity, and things just don't go like they do in practice.
Second down and 8 at the 24. Cobb's in the game now for Miami. He's already scored a receiving touchdown. Henny looking. Incomplete. They tried to go for Cobb's once again. That time, though, Cameron Wimbley, number 96, running stride for stride with him.
I'll tell you, we've seen in this game already, you can give up a big play like the opening kickoff for a touchdown, but if you start turning it over, you know, it doesn't matter whether it's your first game or your 5,000th game. You're going to have a hard time winning.
3rd down and 8 at the 24. Dolphins need to go to the 16 for 1st down. Henny, short drop, in trouble, and sacked again. This time, Tyvon Branch gets to him, almost dislodged the football, and that's the 2nd sack of the day for the Dolphins.
Well, look at all these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys at the line of scrimmage, and they all come in. 8 of the 9 guys are there. One of them falls off with Fasano in coverage, and the offensive line, the backs, they just get confused, and guys slip through.
So that brings on Dan Carpenter in to attempt a 52-yarder. He's already made a 49-yarder. He's 3 for 4 from 50 plus. Got it up, and he will not get this one. Pushed it. 6:49 to play, second half. 10-7 Dolphins. Raiders won't go away. And welcome back as you take a look at Alcatraz off in the distance. 1st down and 10 at the 42-yard line. For the Raiders, Michael Bush checks in at running back. He's a big, powerful back, 6'1", 245. Here's the reverse, Jacoby Ford with some room at Ford. Wow, did he get crunched by Sean Smith at the end of that play. But it's a 13-yard gain for the rookie.
Yeah, they saw this, the pursuit. The Dolphins were playing with such emotion. They were really over-pursuing, and Raiders saw it and brought the end around. Great call at that point. They needed a nice play. You saw the ball handling. Gradkowski just tosses it up in the air and lets Ford catch it.
1st and 10 at the 45. Bush. And Bush. Initial contact made by Tim Dobbins. Tonight on 60 Minutes, they wrote the music for Spider-Man the Musical, but you'll only see U2 perform it on 60 Minutes. Tonight, only CBS.
Sperano getting a moment. There's a player down for the Raiders. Looks like Langston Walker. Big right tackle. Came back to the Raiders after a stint away in Buffalo. And there's a guy, if you can't tell by the guy standing around him, a guy 6'8", 360 pounds. Those don't just fall off the tree. You got to go looking for those guys.
Looks like he's in some pain.
Yeah, he was feeling his shoulder, his left shoulder. We'll keep an eye on as soon as we have more information on Langston's well-being. We'll relay it to you. Right here.
Mario Henderson, number 75, replaces him at right tackle. 2nd down and 9. At the 44, Gradkowski over the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Michael Bush. Gradkowski hadn't had a lot of time today, Steve.
No, Kendall Langford makes this rush and gets in late. And that's, Kendall Langford is one of those guys, Gus, he's big and he's really, really strong. When he comes up underneath, working against Carlisle, just one of those guys that gets by with huge amount of strength. Not too much finesse in that guy.
3rd down and 9 to the 44. They need to go to the 35 for a 1st down. Gradkowski in the shotgun. He can run a little bit. Gradkowski fires. Ford over the shoulder. Jacoby again.
This is a really sensational catch, working out of the slot right there against Sapp. Just over the top of Sapp. Nice catch over the top. Watch as Gradkowski stands in the pocket, gets hit in the face by Jeremiah Bell, delivers the football. He doesn't even know if he caught it until after he stands up.
Janikowski in to attempt the extra point, and it's good. Raiders, 4 plays, 58 yards. Scoring at 117, Jacoby Ford. Big first half, and Oakland takes a 14-10 lead.
Courage.
14-10, Oakland, and we were talking during the break as Jacoby Ford scores another touchdown. You really have to respect a guy like Gradkowski for hanging in there.
Well, for so many people who complain about how they protect quarterbacks and how they give them all the benefit of the doubt, you watch Bruce Gradkowski on that play, and I'll tell you what, that's why quarterbacks get a lot of credit and respect in the locker room. Sometimes they stand in there. They don't get to flinch. They got to stand there and take it and deliver the ball like nothing's going on around them. Gradkowski, and that's why a coach like Tom Cable wants a guy like that taking snaps.
Janikowski kicking this one right into your living room. And it's a line drive. Loose ball and finally downed at the 20. Patrick Cobbs downs the football. So we've got double vision on that last play. Make it polite. Downs the football. We've got double vision, Steve, on that last play.
Yeah, and watch Bruce Gradkowski. He's going to take the hit. Boom. And then Jacoby Ford catches it. Gradkowski's looking, and then he finally finds out that Jacoby Ford did indeed catch the pass that he threw and ended up in the end zone. Both guys doing exactly what they're supposed to do, trusting each other. Jacoby Ford, who started the season as a kick returner, getting it done at wideout.
First down and 10 at the 20-yard line, and a flag on the play.
Before the snap, false start, number 72. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Vernon Carey. Now coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach C for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. First down and 15, Bruce Gradkowski looking to get back in there. He has the lead for his team. Chad Henne hands it off. Ricky, nothing. Tommy Kelly coming up and making the stop. And that brings up 2nd and long.
You watch Tommy Kelly right inside. He's going to get up the field, work to the outside. You see Houston come around the corner. Ricky Williams goes underneath him and tries to get back outside. Tommy Kelly athletically gets from the inside tackle position all the way out to grab him and wrestle him down.
This crowd really starting to get into it here in Oakland. 2nd and 15 at the 15. Polite and Williams in the split backfield with Henne. Henne incomplete and a flag on the play. Asamoah, the defender for Oakland, and this will go against the Raiders.
And they're going to call this on Asamoah.
Holding, number 21, defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And you'll see it right here as Hartline gets off. One shot. And then Hartline tries to get back outside. Yeah, and I don't know, it looked like Asamoah got his hand off pretty quickly, but the official standing right there, and it happened right on his side in front of him. Asamoah had his right arm across the shoulder of Hartline, and they called it.
Hartline, 2 catches, 45 yards. First down and 10. Raiders show a blitz again. And a lot of movement on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and this could be either on either team, depending on what the officials.
False start, number 36, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
We had a couple of guys move from Miami.
That's a fullback.
But if the Raiders are in the neutral zone when Miami flinches, it's on the Raiders, but it's not. Right here. Hey, to me, That was simultaneous. The fullback jumped as well.
First down and 15 at the 15. Ricky Williams. And Ricky Williams stopped by Rolando McClain, a 1-yard gain. And the Raider defense really starting to step it up in the second quarter.
Yeah, they are. And I'll tell you, they got a big boost from Gradkowski's touchdown pass as well. Their offense starting to hold up their end of this game, and now the defense really starting to bring pressure. A lot of different personnel packages from the Dolphins, but the Raiders have had an answer for all of them.
Second and 14 at the 16-yard line. They pitch it, Ricky Williams trying to get around the corner, and Williams gets to the 23-yard line. Tyvon Branch with the tackle after an 8-yard gain for the 33-year-old Ricky Williams.
One of the things about this Raider defense is their front four. You saw there Matt Shaughnessy, and we've been talking about Tommy Kelly, Richard Seymour, of course, Lamar Houston. Those four guys are so athletic. They get on the other side of the football. They are really the key to this the Raiders' ability to play good defense. They can rush the passer with only 4 and still force Henne to get rid of the ball on time.
Third down and 6 at the 23. Ronnie Brown back in. And a timeout called by Henne. 3:17 to play in the second quarter. Raiders with a 14-10 lead. Big third down coming up for the Dolphins. Very important game for these two teams. Each coming in with 5-5 records. Third down 7 at the 23 for Miami. Henne in the gun. Hartline in motion. Henne underneath. Bass with the catch and the first down. As he scampers to the 40-yard line on 3rd and 7, they get 17. Huff, as well as Mike Mitchell with the tackle.
Well, you watch working against Asamoah, and he's so good. And this is why Devon Best is such a weapon. Working against one of the best corners in football, you let a guy do what he does best, like the Dolphins let Best do, nobody can cover him. And if you've got time to get it to him, he's going to get separation on a short route like that.
3 catches, 53 yards for Best. First down. Henne over the middle again, this time Hartline. All the way down to the Raider 37. Stanford route with the stop, but Miami getting yards in chunks now. That's a gain of 23.
You see coming from right to left, right underneath, and you see Henne gets hit hard by McClain in the pocket, but not before he finds Hartline. Watch the hit. Clean hit. Doesn't follow him to the ground. Still sent a message.
Hartline, 3 catches, 68 yards. First down at the Raider 37. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning.
There's a 2-minute warning.
14-10. Oakland. Miami knocking on the door. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Tight ball game in Oakland. Tony Sperano's offense faced with a first down and 10 at the Raider 37. Moore in motion. Henne to throw. Henne looks incomplete. Hartline, the closest Dolphin to the football, but Chad Henne just threw that ball away.
Yeah, you look back at that right before the 2-minute warning, the Dolphins were kind of lazy in and out of the huddle. They had 7 seconds, had plenty of time, didn't get the play off. Tony Sperano was not happy about that. He had something they really liked, a matchup they wanted to run, and now they don't get a chance to do it. Everything changes after the 2-minute. Sperano wasn't happy about that.
Second down and 10 at the 37. Henne up top. Oh, incomplete. Whew. Some hard hitting. That's Stevie Brown going at Marlon Moore, the rookie out of Fresno.
Yeah, and Walter McFadden sloughed off under this play, almost got a piece of it, which got into the vision of Moore. And then, of course, you said it, Stevie Brown came in and made sure the catch didn't happen.
3rd down and 10 at the 37. Miami 4 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. They need to go to the 27 for 1st down. Here come the Raiders. Showing blitz again. They bring everybody. Henny, sideline, nice throw and great catch by Bess. Devon Bess has been terrific. An 18-yard gain. Walter McFadden brings him down. Bess, 4 catches, 71 yards in the first half.
Well, Bess working against McFadden. This is deliberate underthrow. Throws it to his back shoulder. Everybody runs this. You see, Bess looks for the football, and McFadden is just a little late getting his head around. Henny gets rid of this on time because I'll tell you, he knows he's got to get rid of it. You see all the jerseys standing around him. It's like thrown out of a phone booth made out of plywood.
1st down and 10 of the 19. Henny again to throw. All day to throw. Dancing. And finally just dumps it out of the end zone.
There's the play Tony Sperano wants to see. Just get rid of it. You had plenty of time. There was no separation. Just throw it away and let's line up and go 2nd and 10. See, this is where they were for the entire game last week, and this is just today on the right, and it's a much, much better day for the Miami Dolphins.
10th play of the drive for Miami. That started at their own 20-yard line. They've converted on a 3rd and 7 and a 3rd and 10 to keep this drive alive. Henny sprints out of the pocket, sets himself in the corner, incomplete. Bess losing his footing.
That graphic we just saw, Gus, of how much better the Miami Dolphins are playing offensively, that's also the reason Tony Sperano wanted desperately for Chad Henne's knee to heal. I think Chad Henne has been a little bit of the difference in this game in his ability to stand in there and deliver the ball. Tyler Thigpen a little bit more willing to pull it down and run it. And a lot of times you need a guy to stand there and throw it.
So on 3rd and 10, the Dolphins break to the line of scrimmage. Chad Henne. Drops back. Bess, sideline, caught, 1st down. Once again, Devon Bess picks up the 1st down, this time a gain of 11 yards in the face of Walter McFadden.
So he comes inside and then out. And the Raiders, what happens, they run the motion and the Raiders have to back off and give the receivers a free release, and it's tough to play bump man when you can't get your hands on the guy like Devon Bess.
So Henne on the sideline, they bring in the Wildcat formation. Ronnie Brown, Ricky Williams in the backfield. Lex Hilliard as well. Ricky. And he's dropped at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know. I think when you bring that Wildcat in, Gus, you know the Dolphins are not going to throw the football. And I think it plays right into the Raiders' hands at this point in the football field.
A loss of 1 on the play. 13th play of the drive. 2nd down. Henne looking underneath. Fasano with the catch. And Anthony Fasano will get close to the 5-yard line. Picks up 4. Stanford route with the tackle.
Fasano just working across. You see there he's picked up as he comes across by Tommy Kelly, chucking him around. That was one of the rare plays that the Raiders actually zoned it off and everybody guarded an area rather than a man.
Miami with 1 timeout left, 24 seconds and counting as they break to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and goal from the 5. Bess, the receiver at the top of your screen. Hartline crossing. Henne looking. End zone. Incomplete. No flag. Branch breaks it up, intended for Brian Hartline with 8 seconds remaining. in the half.
This was well defended by Branch. Hartline comes up. Yeah, Branch gets there a hair before the ball does, but that's a call you will never, ever get in a million years in the NFL. That's well defended by Tyvon Branch. Slaps the ball away right at the line of scrimmage, right at the goal line. It's exactly where you anticipate they'd try and catch it.
So Dan Carpenter good from 49. He missed from 51. This one from 23. And it's good. 4 seconds remaining in the first half. We've got a 1-point game. Tony Sperano trying to keep his guys up on the road. And what a nice drive, as you hear him on the sideline saying to the offense.
Well, he knows he's in a scrap today with this Raider team, but every point is going to count dearly at the end of this game. 15 plays, 75 yards. That's something to cheer for a head coach.
Coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach C for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. It's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report.
You would have liked a touchdown there, no question, if you're the Miami Dolphins, but to go down that far and convert first downs, stay on the football field, that's an expression of dominance. They ran the football. Chad Henne started to get his rhythm passing the football. Devon Bess was sensational on that drive.
With the Dolphins converting on a 3rd and 7, a 3rd and 10, and another 3rd and 10, they settle for the field goal.
Now, they have not been great in the red zone, the Dolphins, but they have scored a lot when they've gotten down there. I mean, they're a high percentage team when they get down there, just not a lot of touchdowns.
Line drive kick, and it's picked up. Reese, and this will be the final play of the first half as he returns it 8 yards. 14-13 the score at halftime. Raiders on top of the Dolphins. We'll be back with the Sprint Halftime Report after this message and a word from your local station. Welcome back to Oakland. 1-point ball game. Raiders and the Dolphins. Gus Johnson along with Steve Tasker, partner. Very competitive first half. Very exciting first half.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing that happened was both these clubs had a little flair offensively. They used a lot of wildcat. The Raiders are bringing a lot of pressure packages with the Dolphins. And so far, the Dolphins have had a plan for most of those packages. But there's no question the big play has been the Raiders' friend today. And the Dolphins have just grounded, and got their points.
All right, let's take a look at the Droid Pro Play presented by Motorola.
Well, it started right from the opening kickoff. The Raiders come out, get the great blocking up front for Jacoby Ford. He makes the kicker miss, and the Raiders go out to a quick lead after just one play in this football game. Sensational way to begin.
Jacoby Ford with a 101-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. He also had a receiving touchdown from Bruce Gradkowski, catching it over his shoulders, 44 yards. Dolphins have the ball to start the second half. Carroll picks it up, and he crosses the 25 up to the 27-yard line. Make that Patrick Cobbs on the return. And Chad Henne in the first half, 12 of 23, 192 yards, a touchdown, and an interception.
It'll be interesting to see what pressure packages the Raiders roll out in this second half. Both teams making adjustments after they get a kind of a look at the game plan in the other. We'll see what happens.
First down and 10. They spotted at the 28-yard line. Ronnie Brown. Tough sledding, and Roddy Brown caught up by Matt Shaughnessy, and it's a 5-yard gain.
And you look, those are some really big, two really big outstanding drives. A 13 play that ended in the interception, and then the 15 play that ended in the field goal. But, you know, their ability to make first downs really was something to see. The Dolphins really came out and got physical with the Raiders.
Second down and 5 at the 33. Ronnie Brown again. And Ronnie Brown picks up the first down, gets to the 41. Gain 7. Tyvon Branch defensively for Oakland.
Man, let's have the Dolphins coming out and running it right between the guards again. You see their first half stats. The Dolphins really putting an emphasis on handing the football off. The Raiders, nothing on the ground. And the time of possession, those long drives do it. Both teams turning it over, but the Raiders twice.
First down at the 40-yard line for Miami. Opening drive of the second half. Penny, sideline, incomplete. Best, the intended receiver, may have lost that one in the sun. Right now the field is kind of half covered.
Well, you can see where his shadow is, and the ball should have been caught. It's a low throw, but he's mad, I think, at himself for not pulling that one in. That's something. That's a pass of the receiver. You always feel you should catch those low and in front of you, get both hands on it. There's really no excuse.
Second down and 10 at the 40-yard line. Penny, Cobbs, still running. And he dives forward to the 43. Michael Huff to stop him, a 3-yard gain.
Well, what looked to be no gain or a loss on the play ended up in Cobbs keeping his feet and making a little something out of it. These Dolphins still more the same, running it up inside the tackles, and then the quick throw to get the ball out of Henne. Still nursing his knee that he struggled with for the last 10 days after coming in relief of Chad Pennington 2 weeks ago. It really was a question as to whether he was going to be ready.
So a timeout has been called by Miami. Wow, they called a timeout already. Opening of the third quarter. Oakland, California, the 5,000th game. Covered by CBS Sports in our relationship with the NFL. Henne throw. Hey! Caught! Moore! Can he get there? Touchdown! Miami! 57 yards.
The Dolphins didn't have enough guys to protect Henne. He saw it, got rid of it quickly. You'll see right out in the face of Henne, guys coming in his face. Moore, the quick plant and back to the line of scrimmage, and McFadden just didn't make sure the tackle ran right by him. Henne's got a guy coming at him. He knows he's unprotected. He gets rid of it quickly. The offensive line does a nice job of at least funneling people to the outside. Wow.
Marlon Moore came into this game with 2 catches for 20 yards on the season. The rookie out of Fresno scores his first touchdown of his NFL career. And Miami takes a 20-14 lead. What a game this one is turning out to be. Miami with the 20-14 lead as Marlon Moore scores on a 57-yard reception. Jacoby Ford brings it out of the end zone. They string it out. He fumbles it out of bounds at the 15. A 17-yard return. Vontae Davis on special teams. Here's another look at the touchdown.
Yeah, you'll see Walter McFadden playing right up here at the top, working against Moore. And the ball is caught, and Moore is up the sideline before McFadden even realizes the ball was in the air. And it turned into the long play.
As a matter of fact, it's the longest reception by the Dolphins this year, 57 yards. First down and 10 for the Raiders at the 14. Darren McFadden, the single setback. They give it to him. Nowhere to go. No gain. Bell, Starks, both in on the play. And Misi, as you take a look at Marlon Moore, 57 yards.
Well, when guys go down like Brandon Marshall out of the lineup for the Dolphins, and they always say somebody's got to step up, and you get a guy like Henne in there who's on one leg basically, he's going to throw it to the guy in his progression who has the chance. It doesn't matter if there's not a go-to guy. Somebody's going to be the guy he's going to throw to, and everybody's got to be ready.
Second down and 10 at the 14. Gronkowski pulls it down. Incomplete.
You can see there the officials talking about it. He bobbled the ball. Right down on the sidelines, you'll see. That's Misi. And he bobbled it right there. That was a great effort. Gronkowski really just trying to throw that football away. Almost didn't get it done.
So the Raiders faced with third down and 10 at the 14. They need to go to the 24 for first down. 2 of 4 on third down conversions. He hasn't gone to Zach Miller today. Only 1 catch for Miller, the tight end. And this is incomplete. Not a good throw by Gronkowski, intended for 4.
Yeah,
Gronkowski has been erratic today.
well, the Raiders' lack of ability to run the football at all has really been their undoing. This is not a team that is built to drop back and throw the football 50 times, particularly even in a game when they're behind. They need McFadden to run the ball well. That's been the key to the 3-game winning streak they were on 2 weeks ago, and it's evaporated in the last 2.
Devon Best back deep as Leckler punts from the goal line. Best comes up to field it. Has it at the 46. Still running. Best slides down at the Oakland 44-yard line. Hiram Eugene with the tackle, a 45-yard punt, an 11-yard return. Chad Henne, almost 300 yards already. This week, the NFL celebrates youth, health, and fitness with NFL Play 60. Play 60 is a league effort to fight childhood obesity by getting kids active for at least 60 minutes a day. The Raiders have teamed up with Playworks, a national nonprofit organization that works with low-income elementary schools to provide safe, inclusive physical education. And Ricky Williams with some physical running around the right side. Stanford route brings him down, but he gains 12 yards, plays 60 minutes a day. That's all you need, Steve.
That's a little too much for me, huh? Although I still do fight obesity.
Next meal you turn down will be your first.
That is exactly right.
First down and 10 at the 32. Ronnie Brown in for the Wildcat. The handoff, Ricky Williams. And Ricky Williams stopped at the 33-yard gain. Make that the 29.
We have really seen a change for the Miami Dolphins from where they've been in the last couple of weeks. They are making a concerted effort. As you see Chad Henne walk off the field, they're going to run the football again out of that Wildcat. And that's been the difference. This Miami team is dedicated and committed to getting a lot of running plays, and they can do it now, particularly with a 6-point lead.
28 yards for the Wildcat. Ronnie Brown in the gun. Hands it off straight ahead. Ricky Williams stopped by Tommy Kelly after he gained 1.
It's almost unheard of for 2 running backs in the NFL to be as interchangeable as Ricky Williams and Ronnie Brown. They're close friends. It's funny, they're their best friends for life, and they really look after each other to make sure they have enough rest. And you see there, look at that, Brian Hartline untouched. It looks to me like he either got a cramp or pulled a calf muscle. And that's not good.
Third down and 7 at the 29. And some movement. Jake Long, the left tackle.
False start, number 77, offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Third false start penalty today for the Dolphins.
And right there in front, you see in his left arm, he has that black sleeve. That's a brace that doesn't allow his arm to get into a certain position so that it comes dislocated. That's what he's fighting. He is from the day he walked onto the field as a Dolphin, Jake Long's been a starter, and he's been to 2 Pro Bowls.
Wow, Tyler Thigpen coming into the game. On 3rd down and 12 at the 34. Miami just pulling out all the stops. Thigpen, quarterback draw. And he will not get the first down as he stopped at the 25 by Michael Huff, an 8-yard gain on 3rd and 12.
Oh, that's a little bit of like a racing form play. You can figure it out after the fact. Chad Henne's got a bad wheel. He can't run the quarterback draw. So put Tyler Thigpen in so you've got the thread. The defense knows Thigpen can throw it, but they don't realize he's going to run it until after it's too late.
Carpenter, he's nailed a 49er, a 49-yarder, missed a 51-yarder, came back a 23-yarder, good. This one from 44. And perfect. Dan Carpenter gives Miami a 23-14 lead on the road. And we want to thank the MetLife Blimp for providing aerial coverage of today's game. Look for the MetLife Blimp Snoopy 1 and 2 when they pass through a town near you. Dolphins send it away. Jacoby Ford from the 10. And this time Ford can't get started as he's wrapped up at the 25-yard line. A 14-yard return. First down at 10 of the 24. Gronkowski over the middle, incomplete. Lewis Murphy short arm that one in front of Jeremiah Bell. Kansas City facing Seattle today. Here's James Brown in New York.
Hey, Gus, KC was dominating in this game, leading by as much as 14, but they battled back. Matt Hasselbeck, 13-yard strike there to Chris Baker to narrow the gap at 21-17. KC on top in the 3rd. Gus Johnson, Steve Tasker.
All right, James, 2nd and 10 at the 24 now. For the Oakland Raiders, Reese and McFadden line up in the backfield. McFadden, and boy, he cannot get going at all. Terrific play. Koamisi, a loss of 2. Philadelphia, Michael Vick taking on that great Bear defense. Here's James Brown in New York.
Hey, Gus, and Chicago is containing the track stars on Philadelphia. Take a look at Jake Cutler. 4 touchdown tosses and 9 completions. That one to Greg Olsen. 28-13, Chicago on top. Gus and Steve.
All right, 3rd down and 12 at the 22. For Gronkowski. Drops it off. McFadden. And McFadden gets to the 30. And they will not pick up the first down. Carlos Dansby with the stop. An 8-yard gain and bump. And Oakland will have to punt it away.
Yeah,
there's an injured player on the field.
There is a player down right after the right at the point where the tackle was made. But that was a play where the Raiders played right into the hands of the Dolphins. 3rd and 13. And they let him have the short pass, and McFadden just couldn't get it all. Even with 1 missed tackle, McFadden came up well short of the first down, and that's exactly what the Dolphins wanted the Raiders to do on 3rd and long.
That's Vontae Davis getting up slowly, 2nd-year corner out of Illinois. They have gotten the wind knocked out of him. He took a helmet right in the kitchen, right in his stomach. And that was the 4th 3 and out for the Raiders.
Now they have not had a drive over 4 plays all day, even their scoring drive.
Best standing at the 26. Leckler drills this one. Best from the 22. And Best, if he gets outside, it's trouble. He needs 2 blocks. There's 1. And out of bounds at the 30. Devon Best has been spectacular today. 49-yard punt, a 47-yard return.
Well, you heard us on the open. Devon Best grew up cheering for this Raider team as a kid. Had to buy 55 tickets for friends and family to come watch him play, and they came to watch him. We asked him, well, are they Raider fans? He says, oh, yeah, they're Raider fans. Not today. They're fans of Devon Best. I mean, what a great play he made right there on the punt return, and he's been spectacular on offense as well. You couldn't be happier for a guy in a homecoming game.
Best 5 catches, 82 yards. Here's the handoff to Ronnie Brown. And Tyler Thigpen is in the game. And now they're going to bring back Chad Henne. No, they send Henne back to the sideline.
Yeah, I think this has to do with, Henne not being 100%. I think they had a plan coming in. We talked to Tony Sperano. He would not tell us who was starting at quarterback. And in fact, we had to talk to both Tyler Thigpen and Chad Henne. So at least we had a conversation with whoever it was going to be. But I don't think there's any question. I think this was thought out beforehand that Thigpen would have a series or two in this game or a certain personnel package.
Second down and 8 at the 28. They pitch it to Ricky Williams. And great pursuit by the Raider defense. Rolando McClain and Cameron Wembley leading the way, a 2-yard loss. Well, you got to look at the numbers, though. Henne's putting up. He's 14 of 26, 252 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. So he's having a very, very good game.
Yeah, he is, and now he's back on the football field. He's going to take snaps, and you can tell when they're bringing Thigpen in, they're having a quarterback move around, either a quarterback draw or the little option play you saw right there. Henne's the guy that's going to hand it off or drop back and throw it. But Tyler Thigpen certainly has a package of plays that he wanted ready for this game, and the Dolphins are going to waste another timeout.
A lot of personnel groupings on and off the field for Miami, and it's costing them. They've got 1 timeout left, and we're in the 3rd quarter.
The Dolphins obviously came into this game with a lot of different personnel packages, a lot of different formations, trying to do their best to confuse the Raiders defense. It's cost them a couple of timeouts because they haven't been able to get those people on and off the field properly.
So now they're faced with a 3rd down and 11 at the 31. Pass at the bottom of your screen. Henne firing, incomplete. Fasano, the intended receiver, and a late flag. Maybe interference against Oakland.
Yeah, Walter McFadden working against Fasano.
Before the pass was thrown, holding, number 22, defense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
That's what it is. Right there, Fasano coming off. And right there, you see there, McFadden grabs him around the waist, which allows him to get over in front of Fasano to shut off that passing lane, and that is a penalty.
Second holding penalty on the defense this afternoon. 1st down Miami at the Oakland 26. Ronnie Brown. Gain of 2.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's obvious the Dolphins, when they just line up and hand it off, the Raiders are there. They've got an answer for that. But when they start pulling in this wildcat, they put Tyler Thigpen in and out. When they start moving wide receivers around and into the backfield, they've had issues stopping that running game. And I think that's one of the things the Dolphins knew. They knew they had to do some funky things in their running game to get it going. But it has worked for the Dolphins.
Second down and 8 at the 24. Here's a reverse. Moore with a lane. Dives and is down inside the 5, but a flag on the play all the way back at the 27.
Holding, number 72, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That's Vernon Carey, the right tackle.
And Vernon Carey is still down on the field. And he is not moving very well. You'll see here as this play develops, he'll come right across from right to left in your screen. Right there, and you see him grabbing Tommy Kelly and just pulling him away from the play.
So that'll make it 2nd down and long, 18 yards for Henne. Ronnie Brown. And Ronnie Brown gets to the 31. A gain of 3.
And this is, you can say what you want about this Dolphins team. You got a 9-point lead in the third quarter. You're killing the clock. Just get first downs. The clock is your friend.
That's Tommy Kelly on his stomach.
I mean, there's so many teams out there that would, drop back, start throwing it, try and get a bigger lead. Not the Dolphins. They want to run it, force you to play defense, force you to make every play. And Tommy Kelly, the Raiders need him desperately in their defense. He is a really important player in that defensive front four.
And they help up the big fella. 7th year out of Mississippi State.
Right here. He's just caught underneath, kind of squished in the pile.
Looks like he may have hurt his arm.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's a lot of weight, and there's you see things like that, and you wonder why somebody doesn't stay down every single play. It's a testament to the physical condition these guys are in, how tough they are, and how knowledgeable.
So that makes it 3rd down and 15 at the 31. Trips to the bottom of your screen for the Dolphins. Marlon Moore crosses. Henny looking for more. He's got a step. And Henny just didn't put that on the mark. And that'll bring out Carpenter again to attempt a field goal.
Yeah, this one was well covered. This is McFadden, who just got the holding call. You see him running stride for stride. It's going to take a really good throw to get it in there. Tyvon Branch also coming over from his safety spot. Well covered there by the Raiders.
So Henny goes off the field. Carpenter on the field. This will be from 50 yards away. And he missed it. And there's a fight. A scuffle breaking out at the line of scrimmage.
You can see there, Paul Soliai didn't like something that happened down in the pile, down inside. You'll see it. And he's a defensive lineman who they put in. They put in all the big guys, the big bodies, to try and hold up on that. And there's no telling. It certainly doesn't seem to be anything at that point.
Line.
Holds good. And kick is pushed. And there you see at the very end.
So Carpenter misses his 2nd field goal today. He was good from 23, 44, 49 yards. Missed a 51 and a 49-yarder. McFadden. And McFadden out of bounds at the Miami 45. Sean Smith knocks him out of bounds. And the Raiders have been successful when they've dropped it off to their backs underneath.
Yeah, they really have. Problem is they've been doing it on 3rd and long, and they haven't been picking up the first downs. But this Raider offense, this is an important series, I feel. Gus, they have really been stymied for most of this game. They had the big play for the touchdown in the first half, but they have not done anything thus far.
From the Dolphin 45-yard line, 1st down Oakland. McFadden. This time he's got some running room. 6-yard gain, and just what you talked about, Steve. The possessions for the Raiders.
Yeah, you see, look, there's just no long sustained drives. And you see here they got the long touchdown of 44 yards, but they just can't get enough first downs to stay on the football field. Time of possession has been hugely in favor of the Dolphins today, and that graphic right there will tell you.
2nd down and 4 at the 39. McFadden. And McFadden ridden down. Tim Dobbins. It's a 4-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. 1st down Oakland.
Now when you see time of possession and drives that are that short for Oakland and time of possession that is that small for Oakland, it's not just Miami's offense that's managed to stay on the field. It's their defense that has put up stops and played extremely well. This has been a really emotional game for Miami. I think they've been more desperate today than have the Oakland Raiders.
1st down and 10 at the 35. Jacoby Ford, the receiver at the bottom of your screen. He's been terrific. Play action. Gronkowski. Ford's open. He threw it late. Picked off. Chris Clemens. Jacoby Ford was open. Gronkowski didn't see him. Second interception of the day for Oakland.
I saw the same thing you did. Ford gets outside.
He's open right there.
He's pushed by Vontae Davis. That ball's got to be in the air right then. You see how long he has to wait. That's an eternity in the NFL. Ford wanted that ball back in here, not up in here. Gronkowski just never lets it go. You see, shuffles, and then lets it go. It was far too late. He waited far too long to throw that football, and by that time, Jacoby Ford could have run out of the stadium.
First down and 10 at the 20. Ricky Williams. And Thomas Howard there to stop him. You just wonder for coaches sometimes. You look at Gronkowski, and as we've told you, Gronkowski's numbers, 9 of 16, 135, a touchdown, 2 picks. When he's been on, he's been okay. When he's been off, he's been really erratic. You wonder if Coach Cable is sitting on the sideline or standing on the sideline thinking, maybe I give Jason Campbell a chance to come in and play today. Second down and 9 to the 21. Ricky. Nothing. Maybe a yard on the play.
Well, Gus, when you start going back and forth between quarterbacks, usually it's because you don't know if you don't have a quarterback that can win. And you look at that, you compare these two guys, Bruce Gronkowski and Jason Campbell, and you think, well, which one, what do they give you? What's the difference in them? There's not much difference in their numbers. You can look at the games they win, the games they lose, the yards they throw for, the yards against. They're virtually the same guy.
Third down and 8 at the 22 for the Dolphins, who have gotten off conservative. Henny. Underneath, caught! And a first down. Nice throw, Wallace with the reception on 3rd and 8. He gains 19. Roberto Wallace, the rookie out of San Diego State.
Well, it's no question. They're working against Walter McFadden. We've called his name a lot today, not always in a good thing. They're throwing the football at the guy he's guarding time and time again.
And that's the end of the third quarter with the score. The Dolphins 23, the Raiders 14. We'll return to Oakland after this message and a word from your local station.
Bruce Gronkowski still stewing about the interception he just threw to the Dolphins.
First down and 10. Ronnie Brown to the Wildcat. And he gains a yard, maybe 2. Let's take another look at the INT.
Well, Gronkowski's going to come out here. This ball's going to should be thrown right out to the sidelines down as Ford gets out and around the corners of cover 2, which means there's 2 safeties right there and there. The ball should be thrown right there, and it's just late. By the time he lets it go, the safety's all the way over there and makes the interception. The ball's got to be thrown earlier than that.
Gronkowski 9 of 16, 135 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks. Second and 8. Ronnie Brown again. And he crosses the 45 up to the 47, 4-yard gain. That'll bring up third down and 4. Rolando McClain brings him down.
Yeah, Tommy Kelly back in the game for the Raiders after leaving a bit shaken up. But right now, for the Dolphins, all they want to do is grind it down, maybe come away with points, get it deep into the Raiders' territory, give themselves a chance to extend their lead and grind it.
Third down, 4. Henny in trouble. Henny knocked down from behind and sacked. Desmond Bryant with the sack for Oakland. 3rd sack of the day for the Raiders. And the Dolphins will have to punt it away.
And this isn't the worst thing in the world for the Dolphins. You see as Tommy Kelly comes in, gets a good shot at him. And then, as you said, Desmond Bryant comes in to finish it up. The Raiders doing an excellent job, even with the four-man rush against the Dolphins' offensive line.
Brandon Fields will punt it away from the 28. The second punt. It gets away. Johnny Lee Higgins. And Johnny Lee Higgins up to the 20. A 41-yard punt. Fields barely getting that one off. First down and 10 at the 20-yard line for Bruce Gradkowski and the Raider offense. Gradkowski looking. He fires down the field. Ford again. Oh, man! Jacoby Ford just snatched it out of the air. This rookie is incredible today.
Well, Gradkowski comes out. He lets this one go on time. Ford goes in. Then he's going to break back out to the outside. Gradkowski sees the break, then lets the ball go. And Chris Clemens goes up for it. But Jacoby Jones just fights him and comes back down with it. Clemens gets both hands on it, and it didn't work.
Jacoby Ford, 3 catches, 102 yards. A 52-yard catch there. First down and 10. Gradkowski dropping back over the middle. McFadden. And a late flag. 4-yard gain for Darren McFadden.
Tripping, number 51, defense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's Tim Dobbins.
You know, coming into this game, penalties were not a factor for the Dolphins. They're one of the least penalized teams in the NFL, not so for the Raiders. They're at the top of the league. But when it comes down to it, there's never a good time for a penalty. You see there, that's Dobbins. You can't do that. You got to tackle him. You can't trip him.
So the Raiders in 2 plays are at the 14-yard line of Miami. First down. The reverse. Hayward Bay, first time we've called his name, and he's pushed out of bounds by Jeremiah Bell. Darius Hayward Bay gains 2.
Well, the Raiders do have great team speed, and they got a lot of guys that can run. Hayward Bay, a guy they brought in, hasn't played much today, haven't called his name like you said, but you put him on the field with Murphy, Higgins, Ford, and they've got a lot of guys that can really cover a lot of ground, and it's a handful for the Dolphins.
Second down and 8 at the 12-yard line. There's Jacoby Ford. What a day it's been. Gradkowski in the corner. Incomplete. Ford, the intended receiver. Benny Sapp covering defensively for the Dolphins.
And they're having some words after that play. They must have had an ongoing conversation. Gradkowski, it's a pretty good throw. But you got it. Sapp was all over that. Well covered. Perfect position. Didn't get a piece of it. But when you've got that much contact going on, it's really tough to pull that ball in.
Makes it third down and 8 at the 12-yard line. They need to get to the 4 for a first down. Raiders 2 of 6 on conversions. Gradkowski in the end zone, incomplete. Marcel Reese, closest man to the ball. And Oakland will settle for a field goal try.
Yeah, I think that was a miscommunication. There's no question. Gradkowski thought this play was going to go to the back of the end zone, and there was nobody there. He throws this off his back foot. He just throws it to an open spot in the field.
So Sebastian Janikowski in to attempt a 30-yard field goal. And it's good. 10:57 to play, fourth quarter. 23-17. Miami. Welcome back to Oakland and the NFL on CBS, where more people watch the NFL this season than any other network. 23-17 tight game in Oakland as the Raiders prepare to send it away to the Dolphins. Janikowski kicks this one into the end zone, and Nolan Carroll will take a knee. Dolphins will start from their own 20.
Janikowski kicking that one into the end zone when they're going the other way. When he kicked it towards the other end of the football field, he was knuckleballing. It looked like it's a game plan thing. He's trying to get the ball to bounce crazily into the wind, but going with it, he's got enough leg to put it deep in the end zone and put the Dolphins at their own 20.
Only one timeout left for Miami. The pitch. Ronnie Brown with the crease. And Ronnie Brown out of bounds at the 25. He picks up 5. Tyvon Branch shoves him out of bounds.
Tony Sperano, sunglasses and all.
He takes a deep breath on the sideline.
I'll tell you, players and people, we've shown him a couple of times really cheering his team. Players respond to that because they know for a guy like Sperano, it's real.
2nd and 5 at the 25. Brown. Nice piece of running after contact, and he picks up a first down, getting to the 34, a gain of 8. Ronnie Brown, 19 carries, 67 yards.
As the Dolphins continue to grind it out, Richie Incognito pulls around and gets a block up inside, and like a true pro, Ronnie Brown waits for it to develop. There's Fasano coming around, and Incognito loops around right in front of Brown. Well blocked up front.
From the 33, first down, Dolphins. Brown again, bounces it outside. Oh! Brown staying on his feet and somehow gets a forward lead. Stanford route finally stopping him, but he gains 5 the hard way. Asamoah just couldn't get him to stay down.
Well, he put a good hit on him, but Ronnie Brown kind of goes with it, spins around, keeps his balance, and gets a nice gain on first down of what should have been a loss.
What a play. 2nd down and 4 at the 39. Ricky Williams in the game now at running back. Henny to the sideline. And it's caught. Nicely done. Hartline, a gain of 7. Kansas City and Seattle. Here's James Brown in New York.
Gus and Steve, Jamal Charles, 17 carries, 142 yards, and that 3-yard touchdown run there has KC out in front over Seattle, 28-17. That early in the 4th. Back to Gus and Steve.
All right, and you look at the AFC West, 3 teams still in it. The Chiefs, Raiders, and Chargers. First down and 10 to the 46 for Miami. 8:38 to go in the 4th. The pitch, Ricky. And Williams goes down. No gain on the play. Tyvon Branch, the strong safety, coming up and making the hit.
Yeah, this game has really been dictated by the pace of the Miami offense. They've run the ball well. They've done a lot of different things with personnel. It's been difficult for the Raiders and even the Dolphins themselves to keep track of which people are supposed to be on. They wasted a few timeouts trying to do it, but it has worked. It's been a plan that has worked for the Dolphins to perfection.
2nd down and 11 at the 45. Do the Dolphins still have courage enough to throw the ball in these situations? Here's Henny. He's going to let it go. Henny to Best. Got it! Down the sideline, out of bounds at the 25. What a throw by Chad Henne. He dropped that one right in.
And this was thrown right on time. You see him gave a little bit extra hits to make sure McFadden didn't come drop back off. McFadden had short coverage and then tried to get back to cover Best and couldn't do it. Henne makes the perfect throw into the void in the zone.
Best 6 catches, 111 yards. Henne 17 of 30, 307, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. First down at the Raider 26. Ricky. And he gets inside the 20, down to the 19, a 7-yard gain.
We talked so much about Miami's run game and their personnel packages, but they've thrown the ball really effectively. Henny with 300 yards on the day, couple of big plays, and Devon Best has just been enormous for the Dolphins.
Miami with 417 yards in total offense. Ricky Williams. Oakland, on the other hand, with 207 yards in total offense as Rolando McClain comes up with the tackle.
You know, you look at the time of possession as Tom Cable looks on. His defense has been on the field a long time today, and it's starting to show. 37 minutes of this game in 8 seconds, and only 16 minutes for the Raiders offense. This Dolphin offense has been on the field all day.
Third down and 3 at the 19. Asamoah on the sideline. Ronnie Brown looking, cuts it back. And Ronnie Brown looks like he has the first down as Richard Seymour and Stevie Brown come up with the tackle.
Yeah, and this is the typical thought of the day. The Raiders come out, you see, they rally the ball very well. They over-pursue it. Ronnie Brown, because of his patience, just finds a crease and manages to get exactly what the Dolphins needed, that first down. And once again, the Raiders are stuck out there, giving up a third down conversion on defense.
First down and 10 at the 15. Brown. And he gets to the 10. Smash mouth football now for this Miami Dolphins squad. Ronnie Brown gaining 5 yards on first down.
Yeah, now it comes to the point where the Raiders, as tired as they are, as long as they've been out there, they're still tackling a fresh running back. Ronnie Brown, Ricky Williams kind of share the load so that each of them can run hard into the fourth quarter, and you're seeing the result of it now. They're starting to push the Raiders around a little bit.
Second and 5, Ronnie Brown. And he gets inside the 10. Looks like he picked up 2.
Yeah, this is ultra-conservative time for the Dolphins. They don't want to do anything that's going to give them the opportunity to turn this football over. They're in field goal range. It'll give, if they could get a field goal or have to settle for a field goal, they go up by 9 points. It makes it a 2-possession game with under 4.5 minutes to play.
Third down and 3. Ricky Williams, and he won't get it. On 3rd and 3, Ricky Williams gets about a 1.5 yards, maybe 2. Oakland calls a timeout now. They have 2 left, plus the 2-minute warning. And now Dan Carpenter will come on the field to attempt a field goal.
I think Oakland's already calling a timeout because I think they're talking about saving time. They need the clock to stop. They want to get it with as much time as possible, even though there's 4 minutes. I think they're almost conceding this field goal because they know it's going to be a 2-possession game and time is of the essence now. They've had trouble staying on the field offensively, and they've got to get the ball back twice and score.
If Carpenter can make this field goal. Carpenter has missed from 51 and 49 yards out. This ball spotted at the 15. 25-yard attempt for Dan Carpenter. And it's good. 4:03 to go in the fourth quarter. Tony Sperano. Coming up, time permitting, after the game, the Subway postgame show. Join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show. Gus Johnson, Steve Tasker with you from Oakland, California. Dan Carpenter will kick it away. He's nailed 4 field goals today, and he'll send it to Jacoby Ford, who's returned one 101 yards. He'll get a shot. Ford from the 10. And Ford out of bounds at the 22. 3:59 to go in the fourth quarter. Miami holding on, leading at 26-17. Welcome back. First down and 10 to the 23 for the Raiders. Gretkowski. The screen. McFadden dropped it, and incomplete is the call.
The ruling on the field. The pass was incomplete. Second down.
Yeah, and you knew that the running game is going to cease to be a factor for the Raiders now. With this little bit of time left in the game, down by 2 scores, they're going to have to move it fast, get points out of it, and get the ball back.
Raiders with 2 timeouts, plus the 2-minute warning coming up. Miami with 1 timeout left. Second down and 10. Gretkowski, sideline, nice throw. That's a late hit. No. Tom Cable says it's a late hit. Murphy with the reception. Al Harris. It's a 17-yard gain.
Yeah, and Al Harris, there's no question he does hit him late out of bounds, but he kind of launched him, but he lets up on him. The officials say no harm, no foul. And you'd like, I think that's, you almost have to call that, but no call.
First down at the 40-yard line for the Raiders. Gretkowski, incomplete as he skips that one to Lewis Murphy. Kansas City and Seattle still battling. Here's James Brown.
Gus and Steve, after a Hasselbeck fumble, Kansas City makes him pay. Castle hooking up with Dwayne Bowe. Boy, 9 yards, his 3rd receiving touchdown of the game, 11 catches, 145 yards, 3 touches on the day, 35-17 KC. Back to Gus and Steve.
Dwayne Bowe is on fire. On fire.
Second down and 10. Gretkowski, sideline. Caught, out of bounds, goes Ford as he gains 6 on the play.
Raiders once again, I mean, this is a point where the Raiders are put back into a corner because of this. I mean, you look, they have not been able to stay on the field, hold on to the football, gain enough yards. The Dolphins have dominated offensively today.
Third down and 4 at the 46. Gretkowski as he throws that one behind Ford, and that brings up a 4th down and 4.
And you look at this Raider offense with Gretkowski at quarterback. They've only managed 1 touchdown on the day and a field goal. The other touchdown, of course, on the opening kickoff from Jacoby Ford. They had just been ineffectual, and I think there's no question Tom Cable's got to go for it. 3.5 minutes to go in this game. You're down by 2 possessions. You got to take every opportunity. You may not get the football back.
4th down and 4. Gretkowski. Incomplete. And a flag.
It's going to be on Al Harris. There's 2 flags there. Yeah, there is a flag in the backfield.
There are fouls by both teams. Illegal hands to the face, number 31, defense. Holding, number 66, offense. Those fouls all set. We'll replay 4th down.
That's Cooper Carlisle for the Raiders. Their right guard had hands to the face. And this is Al Harris. And, well, that's to the throat of Lewis Murphy.
So still 4th down and 4 at the 46. We haven't seen Gretkowski run. Drops back, steps up, incomplete. Johnny Lee Higgins, the intended receiver, and the Raiders turn it over on downs.
And that ball was off the mark. Higgins probably would have been a great catch, but he comes out and you'll watch. Just sits down, he's open, and the ball is wide. Gradkowski thought he was going to continue across, but the zone coverage dictated that he sit down in the hole, wait on the football. Gradkowski led him across what would have been into a defender.
Miami with it at the Raider 46.
The Raiders are going to start burning timeouts right here.
Ricky Williams. And Rolando McClain with the tackle. And a timeout called by Oakland. They have one remaining. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes, followed by The Amazing Race, then Hallmark Hall of Fame's November Christmas. Tonight only CBS.
Gradkowski talking to Jason Campbell there. It's been a long day for him. Been out of the lineup for a long time with that shoulder injury. Got himself back into shape. Finished the game last week in the bad loss to Pittsburgh. He said it was good that he got the rust off. Felt pretty good. That gave him a chance to get in to the game and then set him up for a good week of practice, but it did not translate today.
Second down and 9. Chad Henne and the Raiders try to stop him. You get the football back. Ricky Williams! Ricky running! Touchdown Miami! 45 yards! And that will do it.
45-yard touchdown run.
Well, you knew the Dolphins weren't going to do anything fancy. They're just handing it off, trying to grind out the clock, and Ricky Williams goes up inside, and there's nobody home for the Raiders. The last guy got picked off by the umpire right behind the line of scrimmage, and he couldn't pursue, and that was it.
Ricky Williams with his longest run of the year, 45 yards. He's got 20 carries for 96 yards and a touchdown now. And Miami takes a 32-17 lead. 33-year-old Ricky Williams.
Well, we said that both these running backs, Ricky Williams, Ronnie Brown, are fresh in the fourth quarter because they share the load, and there was an example of it. Fresh legs running against a weary defense.
Extra point up and good. And once again, a look at Ricky.
This is just going to be a straightforward run right here. A little belly play where it looks like it's going to the left, but it's designed to go for the right. And look there, the umpire gets in the way right there, steps right in front of Mike Huff. You see there, boom, he's through into the secondary, and the official gets one last block from the zebra and breaks into the clear. Well blocked up front.
Tony Sperano has been emotional.
Well, this is an important game for Miami. They're chasing two teams in their own division, the Jets and New England. They're trailing 2.5 games with 6 games to play. They got a lot of football to make up, and this is their first step in doing it.
But how about this man, Chad Henne, who a couple of weeks ago they thought his season was over. Not only wasn't it, he comes back in this game and he was terrific. 17 of 30, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he was in and out of the game between Wildcat and Tyler Thigpen coming into play in a couple of series. Jacoby Ford from the 13. And he gets to the 32. Return of 19 yards. Let's take a look at the standings in the AFC East. The Jets and Patriots both 9-2.
Yeah, and one of those teams is not going to win the division. And Miami's got to catch the other one. Now they play on Monday night in about 8 or 9 days. So that'll shake something loose at the top of the division, but Miami is still trying to chase one of them down.
First down and 10 at the 33. And a false start against the Raiders.
False start, number 18, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
A lot of career firsts today.
And for the Raiders, first reception TD, first interception, then the rook, then first tee and first interception there as well.
First down and 15 at the 28. Gronkowski dumps it off to McFadden, breaks a tackle, and McFadden goes down to the 35. He couldn't get out of bounds, so the clock continues to run.
You know, it's interesting, you mentioned Chad Henne, Gus, about his season. Some thought it was over because of the injury. It was almost over because they pulled the plug. This is the guy that was benched 2 weeks ago, and Chad Pennington was inserted. He lasted 4 plays, and Henne was asked to come in and relieve him for the rest of the game. That's when he got hurt.
Gronkowski, nice throw, and it's caught by Lewis Murphy. He gets out of bounds.
Lewis Murphy on the reception.
Kansas City and Seattle still going at it. Here's James Brown.
Gus and Steve, Seattle draws within 11. Take a look at this move here by Ben Obamanu. Good move, shake and bake, wide open, 87 yards to the promised land. It is now 35-24, Kansas City on top. Back to Gus and Steve.
Goodness. I've never been that open when I was playing by myself.
First down at 10. At the 48, 2:30 to go in the fourth. Gronkowski. And another catch, Lewis Murphy on the sideline. A 13-yard gain. Now, for those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS in the game between the Dolphins and the Raiders. I'm Gus Johnson along with my partner Steve Tasker. Our score, Miami 33, Oakland 17. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast. First down and 10 at the 39, 2:25 to go. Raiders with the timeout left. Gronkowski in trouble, and Gronkowski goes down. And that is Wake, sack number 10.5 on the season. First sack of the day for the Dolphins.
Cameron Wake just kind of hung with it. It's been a long afternoon for the Raiders offense, but haven't had many sacks. Gronkowski knew it, could feel Wake coming in. Langston Walker, who was out of the game for a while with an injured wrist, coming back in. Cameron Wake getting the best of him on that one.
Second down and 15 from the 44. Gronkowski rolling out, finds McFadden, who goes down at the 38-yard line. That should take us to the 2-minute warning as McFadden gains 5.
I'm going to try and get one. They're not going to get it off. You're right.
2 minutes to play in the fourth. Back to Oakland right after this. 2 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Raiders need a miracle. Gronkowski knocked down. Intended for Ford. Some good defense being played by Benny Sapp. This secondary has done a nice job this afternoon for Miami. Vontae Davis, Benny Sapp, Jeremiah Bell, especially Chris Clemens, the other safety. They have been very, very physical. Al Harris coming in and mugging a couple of guys.
You're right. They have really played their positions well. And I think coming in here knowing that their offense is playing so well, they're fresh. I mean, it's like they've only played a quarter of football.
Gronkowski steps up in the pocket, wants to run, and incomplete pass. And Gronkowski's hurt. Wow.
He's going to get to his feet. Just coming off a shoulder injury. You see as he steps this up, you'll see him flip this ball out to the right out of that and then see what happens to him as he goes down. He came down on that shoulder. It's like happens to so many quarterbacks. They get rolled up.
Gronkowski plays with great courage, but sometimes he hurts his team by not doing the traditional things that quarterbacks do, which is get down, slide. Now he's hurt. And he looks like he's really hurt. Same thing happened to him week 4 against Houston here when he took really 2 vicious hits from Bernard Pollard. And once again, he goes down hard and rolls up on that shoulder.
Yeah, and that's big. So he hurt the shoulder the first time. He got hit once, and then it got hit the next week, and then finally when he did get hit in Houston is what did it for him.
On the other hand, the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins, he really responded. He's been under pressure, as you've mentioned. Chad Henne had his job taken away from him. He got hurt. Some thought he'd be lost for the season, but he has turned in an excellent, top-notch performance this afternoon. The numbers again, very efficient. 17 of 30, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And Henne came in and out of the lineup based on the Wildcat, as well as Tyler Thigpen getting an opportunity to play. He kept his composure. Wins on the road. Gronkowski in a lot of pain. 33-17, the final score from Oakland. The Miami Dolphins improved to 6-5. The Raiders fall to 5-6. Big smiles all around for the Dolphins. That man right there, Chad Henne, should be very proud of his performance today on the road. 33-17 the final. Dolphins prevail. Tonight on CBS at 60 Minutes, followed by the amazing race of the Hallmark Hall of Fame presentation of November Christmas. For Steve Tasker, this is Gus Johnson saying so long from Oakland. You've been watching the National Football League on CBS.